Iraq's militia has now entered the battlefield. That's right, they have shot down a US drone. Welcome to TimesXP. And the war that began as a tense standoff between Iran, Israel, and the United States, it is now spreading. And the map of this conflict is getting bigger by every single day. Well, a dramatic new development has emerged from Iraq, where very powerful Iran-aligned militia claims that they have brought down one of America's most advanced surveillance drones. You know what? If that is confirmed, that this could mark a serious escalation and a clear signal that the war is no longer confined to just a few countries. According to fighters from the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, their forces managed to shoot down a MQ-9 Reaper drone while it was flying over Salah al-Din province in northern Iraq. Now, the MQ-9, it is not just any drone, it is one of the most sophisticated unmanned aircraft in the American arsenal, capable of flying for more than 27 hours, carrying precision missile and conducting deep surveillance across the war zone. Losing such a drone, it is not only costly. Each unit, it is worth over $30 million, but it is also sending a symbolic message here. A message that the US military assets are now under direct threat across the region. But this whole story, it did not end with a drone. Within hours of the announcement, militia group linked to Iran reportedly launched a series of drones and missile strikes targeting American military facilities inside Iraq. In fact, one of the areas that came under threat was near Erbil International Airport, a key location where the US troops and coalition forces operate. In fact, sirens reportedly surrounding across the areas as defense systems attempted to intercept the incoming threat. Well, for years, Iraq has been a very fragile balancing ground between Washington and Tehran. In fact, the US still maintains thousands of troops in that country as part of the operation against extremist groups like ISIS. And at the very same time, Iran holds enormous influence through a network of powerful militia that operate across Iraqi territory. And now, as tensions explode in the wider Middle East, those militias, they appear to be ready to step directly into the fight. Here, security experts warn that this could open an entirely new front in the conflict. If Iraqi militia continue targeting the US assets, American forces stationed across bases in Iraq and neighboring region, they could face constant attacks from drones, rockets, short-range missiles. Ladies and gentlemen, in modern warfare, these low-cost drones and militia network, they can create huge strategic pressure, forcing major powers like the US to defend multiple locations simultaneously. So in the end, the bigger question now is how Washington will respond to this. Well, the Pentagon has repeatedly warned that attacks on American troops will trigger retaliation, but every single response also risks pulling more countries and armed groups in this confrontation. And that is the real danger for the moment. What started as a tense geopolitical standoff is slowly transforming into multi-front regional conflict, stretching from the skies over the Persian Gulf to the deserts of Iraq and beyond. Well, the message from Iraq's militia is blunt. If Iran is attacked, they will not stay on the sidelines. And if more groups follow this path, the entire Middle East could soon witness a conflict far bigger than anybody ever expected.